to Late Night Live.
Bienvenidos a Noches en Vivo.
Hello, creatives. I'm your host for Late Night Literary Events After Dark. My name is Lady Zen, and I'm coming to you all the way from San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. Have you ever been here? It kind of looks like this every night. No, seriously, this was live footage from last night. Looks like Disneyland, right? I was told once that Walt Disney came to San Miguel in the 1930s, and the Parroquia was the inspiration for the Disney castle. Could be true, I don't know. But, I mean, the city has been around since the 1500s, and many people have come here to be inspired. Writers, artists, intellectuals. Everybody comes to this jewel of the city named after the Archangel Michael. So I want you to feel invited into my life story. So let's get comfortable, shall we? Get your snacks and your jammies, because it's late night and I want to hang out with you. We're going to talk about lyric fusion poetry tonight. And I want to share with you why I wrote about this genre and why I'm considered the mother of lyric fusion poetics. Basically, it's because I wrote about it. But some background on lyric fusion poetry. When we think about lyric poetry, we think about romanticism. And when we talk about lyric poems, the romantic period is responsible for all the sappy love songs and those deeply emotional thoughts that we have. One of my favorite quotes is from Marvin Bell, who said that there was no language for emotions until the arts came around. And we invented the language for emotions through art. They're about personal thoughts and feelings, and they usually come from a specific speaker. They're from the ancient Greek times. Lyric poems were relatively short, and they were accompanied by a lyre, and they were generally sung. And this is the trademark of lyric poets from the ancients to present. But they're not songs for that matter. A poem is a composition that is written so it can be spoken. It solely communicates elevated thoughts, whereas a song is written and adapted for the purpose of singing. Songwriters are lyricists, but poets are poets. Usually, lyrics are kept comparatively short to what lyric poems are because the poet isn't limited to the length of a song. So a lyric poem can actually be pages long. And literary scholars differentiate them based on the context. There are verses and refrains that come around, and it's really dependent on the melody. That's what makes a song. That's what's different from a lyric poem and a song. I have this poem that I want to share with you right out the gate. This is an example of a lyric fusion poem that I wrote called A Poem for Victor Hugo on His Birthday. And it goes a little something like this. Follow me, 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 hey, come with me, follow me, hey. Follow me. Put on your good shoes, let's walk to where there are colors of cobalt, blue. It reminds us of Greece in crisp white linen, tropical white, where the gods bless everything we do. But you gotta come with me. We will age wonderfully in beauty with nothing in the way of our creativity. We will smile and simply say, style is everything. But you gotta come with me. You will be my queen of queens, the one who loves lilies for their purity, the one addicted to blissfulness. This will be our como siempre, our vida entre pastores. We will offer candles and wreaths and sing songs in a parade, take our Sunday meals to go, and we will wear what we want. Wearing years old, but no one will ever really know. They'll just say, guapo, guapo, when they see us come through the door. Me in a white sombrero, holding 12 deep red roses, but you have to come with me. What if I entice you with a celestial crown and kiss and sway and clink pink tequila drinks, trailing perfumes of orange and anise? We will eat green apples and fresh mint, and the day will stay in our mouths, fresh as memories, lightweight and kind to our senses. But you've got to come with me. Leave this place. Can't you feel escape coming on? We'll call it our existence, and we will insist upon living it. Not all wonder is lost. This is not our ultimo ricorrero. It is fire, moon, and falling star. Gratitude overflowing into pools deep enough to take off our socks, where we will fall under the spell of elegance and ordinary things that make us dream and discover who we were in 10,000 photos. But you gotta come with me. Put on your good shoes, they'll take you to good places, and we can begin by walking into each other's hearts. But you got to come with me. Hey, come with me. Follow me. Hey, come with me. Most modern forms of lyric poetry are considered musical entertainment, and they often go unrecognized by contemporary critics of lyric poetic genres, because modern lyric poetry gets dubbed as unsuccessful songs or rap or slam poetry. There is specific music in the reading of them, but they're not songs. What characteristics are similar in poetry, lyric poetics, and music are tone, rhythm, and harmony. But the poem is lost in one measure or another, mainly because of the organizing factors. And we have a certain place for songs. But because of the definitions that we use for both music and poetry, it can be confusing. But there are unifying characteristics to lyric poetry. And this is where lyric fusion poetry creates a context for this to happen. The unifying effect can be something other than what is written, and there is a collaboration between another art form. So let's look at types of lyric poetry. There's the elegy, which is the death of ideas or a person. Most notably a sonnet, which is 14 lines. It's a specific form with meter and rhyme. And then there's an ode, which is giving respect to things or a person, like you're talking directly to an object. And here is a poem that is called Ode to Two. This is too forced. It's too tough. It's too contrived. It's erratic. It's too eccentric. It's too formal, too traditional, too hip, and too bold. This is too much of a sign. It gives the wrong signal. It's slathered with meaning. It's odd that it's so safe. It's so flat, so loud, I can barely hear what is being said. It's so intricate. Do you think it's too dirty? Too advertised, or too earthy, too yellow? Is it too green, or too square, or just way too short? Maybe it's just that I am too fat, too brick, too brawn, too butch. Maybe I am too close or too fucked. Perhaps I am too French, too industrial, too classy, too domestic, too rich, or not poor enough. Or it could be that I am not enough to suit you. But what if I am too narrow, too scheduled, too economical, too worried about the little stuff, too institutional, too bored, too healthy, too touched, too rejected, too left of center that I've missed the mark? It could be that I am too grand or too gross, too together, too separate, or too disabled. It could be because I am not old enough, though some would say I am way too young. But often, I am too right or too wrong. There have been times when I've been too lit, too drunk, too chewed up and spat out, or too savored. But I'm still looking at myself in the mirror, recovering from a bad haircut, and healing way too slow. Lyric poems use figurative language, simile, as, like or as, metaphor, one thing is another, personification of objects or human traits to non-human objects, oxymorons, which puts things together that are opposite. There's a juxtaposition. There's consonants with end sounds that are the same, and they come in threes. There's assonance, which is a sound in the middle, like cat, black, pack. There's internal rhyme, sentences that carry over from one line to another. And there's sound devices, sound alliteration, which is one of my most favorite parts of being a poet. It's so much fun for me. There's a poem that I have called Take Me Back, which is in a book called Measure for Measure, and it's a textbook poem on alliteration. And it says, drank too much of the Kraken, now I'm coughing, choking, hacking up blue and green ink in the kitchen sink, screaming, baby, take me back. So that's alliteration. And then there are words that sound like something. One of my most favorite words that I made up for a sound was the word huzzing, and it was talking about a refrigerator. And I'm going to read that poem for you in a moment. But what happens when we use all of these tools at our disposal is that we create an experience within the body for the reader or the listener to experience. For example, if I say lemon, and I tell you to, in your mind, take a lemon and cut a lemon into quarters and then bite into it, there's almost a moment at which you start salivating. And this is one of the most powerful tools that we have as poets, and that we can connect with each other because we can bring up particular objects that have this visceral feeling in the body, and it creates an instant connection with the reader. This is a poem called Elephant Tricks. Tromping through the berry plot at dawn, lugging empty buckets as Jersey cows report to the barn for work. Deerskin field hand gloves, oversized phalanges, crush grit and purple stains into yellow hide. July. 8-year-old clad in father's long sleeve red plaid flannel shirt. Elephant skin boots and a mesh trucker cap to shield me from double-sided stinging leaves, thorns that prick, and diligent copperheads in pursuit of my ankles. At 5 a.m., the first day of blackberry season, Mother drove to the blackberry dairy patch where we gather all that we can carry before morning sun raised over afternoon. We would drink water from empty milk jugs. This is where I learned to tell lies, gleaming croplands and orchards in blackberry patches among thorns when mother unsatisfied. No matter how I tried, even with 2-gallon bucketfuls, it was never enough. In my family, these were the kinds of lies that became a tribe of elephants lumbering through my childhood memories. What of my youth doesn't feel betrayed? The summer, the doctor said to me that my hair was too coarse to withstand the sun. Heat was getting trapped near my scalp, and that's what was causing the nosebleeds. Prescription filled. Cut unruly hair as close as you can. Hide under a ball cap and stay hidden and look feminine. I once loved lying to you as much as I loved picking blackberries in July. There's a poem that I have called Friday in Peppermint Park that is all about the senses. It's all about objects. It's all about bringing you into this moment of being in the same room with someone who's not really speaking to you directly, but there are 3 conversations happening at the same time. And we're going to put that on the screen so you can read it. This poem was workshopped by the UK poet Carol Ann Duffy. And there's a kind of, it's a complex poem to just hear as these 3 voices talk over the other. The voice of the narrator is the internal voice, and the color, the contrast of the poem are all of these objects that are taking place and how the narrator is interacting with them. So the characters' actions allow detail after detail to unfold as their mind is busily working away and calculating and recounting specific things that are happening to them physically. It has an undertone of anxiety and hopefulness at the same time. This is Friday in Peppermint Park. Morning began as any other. One difference, I woke at 10:15 instead of 6 a.m., 45 minutes before your arrival. The shower is cool and soft. Sage and cedar suds rinse loofah smooth skin, buttered in shea and lavender. I wrap myself in a black silver satin robe. Today, I will greet her at 11 a.m. I choose bamboo cotton knee-high periwinkle paisley print socks, dark wool trousers rolled short to mid-calf, autumnal brown leather ankle boots brushed lightly to a shine, Oxford brand 3-strap tuxedo suspenders over a light gray, almost white dress shirt. A lightly applied fresh coat of steam has made it crisp and pristine like it has been starched and tailor creased, sleeve to cuff. A brisk snap and stab of a captain wheel cufflink is, I wonder how I could not be enough at the sheer beauty of English cotton. Fabric with its subtle differences makes superior fibers easy to spot. I choose the black vest with 7 buttons for its versatility, its well-fitting. So anxious, I feel giddy. Appropriate for a range of somber to casual occasions. Clean lines make it informal yet classic, like a Kandinsky black is so flexible. My eyes are riveted by 100 raw silk ties twirling around a vintage tie-o-matic. I will choose something that looks academic today. Duke blue and white. How could I have been so stupid? Or Harvard crimson and gold. But always silk. Silk makes the best knots, from a single Windsor to a complicated ornamental knot like true love that folds over again and again to form a pleated heart. gathering my loose things, a light brown leather wallet with embossed gold trim and a crown, a wide silver watch band, my ring. I was out of my mind when you left. You wouldn't speak to me. Or does that matter now? Keys, a bus ticket just in case I need a ride home, the first of 3 hats to choose from, the gray fedora, the black puffy Boston Red Sox cap with a fancy stitching. Pausing to take note of the squealing of chair swings. No, the black Kangol looks better. The voice of children playing in Peppermint Park. A prepared, formal, clean, well-dressed person greets me in the mirror. My hands move across its body through all of its finishes, touching my necktie, straightening my collar, smoothing my bound chest, checking my pockets. I feel for the bus ticket. Peppermint Park is across the street. Why would you need a bus ticket? Quick double check for my keys. A somber self takes a peek. The last glance goes deep into my grief. Who is this person in front of me? Who is she? Will she be okay? The clock hiccups every 26 seconds above the huzzing compressor of the new white refrigerator. The neighbor is taking out the trash a day early. My hand trembles against the gold knob, fiddling with the lock. After this Friday, you will leave and never see me again. It's too difficult to say, but I know who is waiting for you in the cafe across town. Damn, you look really good. Think she will notice? Will she remember all the effort, all the attention to detail put into us, into myself? Okay, one last look. How busy a silent moment can be. Now, these are examples of written poems, but I want to share more deeply about lyric fusion poetry specifically. As I said, traditionally, lyric poems are put to music. These are poems that can be read off the page, and they're sung rather than recited. But lyric fusion poetry can also combine with other forms of presentation. They can be acted or danced to a recorded track, for instance. They can bring a kind of fullness and dynamic nature to the poem. It makes them more full. And collaboration is really important. The other criteria for a lyric fusion poem is that each individual part of the poem can be separated and can stand alone. So the music can be one thing, the photos can be one thing, the poem can be one thing. It can be performed in a way, it can be in multiple pieces that can be put back together. And this way it maintains the mood of the poem while creating a new life in maintaining the emotions and the characteristics of the poem, but becoming something different, a different kind of art form. So let's talk a little bit about performance. Often poets choose to just read their poems from the page in a reading. I've been to many readings, but there are other ways that an audience can experience poetry so that the poem can actually be more engaging to the audience. For instance, a collection of poems could be a play. You could have different characters reading different poems and how they all interact together. Bob Barancik of Art Not Hate brought me a book called Long Island Haiku, and he asked me to write music and to perform the book. I chose a tanka. Is a Japanese form. It's 31 syllables. It's traditionally written as a long single line, and the word tanka actually translates to short songs. They're similar to haiku, but a tanka poem has a specific syllable requirement. They use many literary devices, including personification, metaphor, and simile, but they allow for ample visualization, I would say. The number of syllables per line is 57577. And this is that poem that we put to music. It's called Chili. The whole globe's gone digital. Still we must push wheelbarrow of dirt for garden. My shoulder joints ache. Bone chilling fog bound June day with sound of thunder. Gray sky and gray sea. Sounds of harmonious wonder make me uneasy. Lightning and fog, everyone waits anxiously for clap of thunder. Hair whiter than white, just like Moses gone up to the mountain. But her eyes stare at the sea. Still the whole globe's gone digital, but we must push wheelbarrow of dirt for garden. My shoulder joints ache, bone chilling fog bound June day with sound of thunder. Gray sky and gray sea, sounds of harmonious thunder make me uneasy. Lightning and fog, everyone waits anxiously for clap of thunder. Hair turning whiter than white, just like Moses gone up to the mountain. But her eyes stare at the sea. When I first started conceptualizing the idea for Chile, I wanted the listener to feel as if they were submerged in the ocean and walking with one of those, those old scuba outfits with the big heavy, bubble on the head, the iron bubble. And I wanted somebody to feel as if they were experiencing that in a sonic sort of context. And context is very important. When in collaboration with other people, say an animator or actors or a filmmaker, the poet has the option to include the context of where the poem is taking place, how the set is, where the location is, and the feel of the music. There's a way to collaborate with an artist that can really understand the soundscape of emotion. All of us speak in a certain sort of tone that has a key signature to it. And the musician can actually work with the tone of the voice, can actually find your speaking voice in the key that would be on a piano. Like, you're speaking in a B flat. And all of these things can be part of what really adds dynamic structure to your poems. So this is one of my first lyric fusion poems. It was first composed with my band Liquid Blue back in Arkansas, back in the day. And so we put it to a little track, and I hope that you enjoy it. The midway feel of 2 o'clock morning washes salty across my eyes. I wait, I feel homeless, and I listen as the iron horse grinds its gears, but there's no starting here. There's no starting. The station swallows people with miles mirrored in their eyes. Across the street a neon sign smears salvation messages. Jesus saves for crowds like this, but there's no starting. There's no starting here. I watch a woman and her child cast a silver coin into the sea of time. I watch seconds, minutes, hours ripple outward in her wishing mind. She speaks the silent language to her child that children, they do not understand. Her graceful hands that sculpt the air and bless the child that bless us all. But there's no starting here. There's no starting here. There's no starting here. 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 So, in conclusion, I'd like to say that poetry can take on a new life if you will let it. In the current atmosphere that we live in, there's so many other ways to get our poems out there. I have some poems that I've worked with house music producers to create a dance track. People are looking for deep content. People are looking for a different way to experience what it is that you've written besides experiencing you on the page. So I want to encourage you to see how you can stretch your poems into a new genre. Well, thank you for listening. This is one of my original pieces called Little Strings, and it's on my latest compilation of lyric fusion poems that are sung, and I'm really proud of this one. I hope that you enjoy it. There are some things you can't explain. Intimate memories that no one will ever see. There was a sacredness in the privacy of you and me. Like how it felt to be around you when you're enjoying your day, or the way you could turn a simple phrase into a perfect joke. No, 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 there's no explaining that to anyone, not even to me. I try to tie all the little strings to many, many, many things, but nothing could keep you by my side. I thought that I was your everything, so how could you do everything to tear me in two? Can you explain that to me? Ooh, 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 but nothing could keep you by my side. I thought that I was your everything, so how could you do everything to tear me in two? Can you explain it to me? I swallowed all my pride to keep you by my side, and nothing. Can you explain that to me? So that's it, kids. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home. It's been a pleasure. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. You can find me at ladyzen.world, Facebook, Lady Zen, my fan page. And you can also become a patron of my work through patreon.com, Lady Zen. Thank you so much, and keep writing.